What's in a name? What is a name? Do you need a name? What needs a name? Does your NFT need a name?
An NFT by any other name would smell as sweet.
Let's do it.
That was Degen Shakespeare. Let's just do this thing.
We're going to talk about NFTR name today. NFTR name. So I just became familiar with this project through an ape that I follow, and she had just purchased an NFT name. This is a whole new concept to me. I'm really curious to get your thoughts and to chat about different use cases. This is their website. This is a decentralized name registry for your NFT. So just like ENS is for your blockchain address, NFTR is for your NFT, essentially. So you can choose like any NFT that you have. Let's say it's a creep NFT that you like and you want to name it Lux Cleve, you can. This is definitely exploring brand new utility and use cases outside of what NFTs are doing. So I find this to be very interesting. So it is a namespace that's associated to an NFT. They are selecting some initial projects to bring onto the platform, and we'll talk about that in just a second. They're called curated NFT project. You can access their documentation, which is where I found a majority of my knowledge base that I got on this project. And then you can also take a look at the names that have already been claimed. So the experience is pretty straightforward. You go ahead and launch the dApp. And so now we're into their visual user interface. And clearly I've already been on here. I searched for a sad girl bar.
I was gonna say.
And I could pull up all of the sad girls, and I don't think any of them are named yet. So I selected the only named. Nobody has named their sad girl, but I could in theory go in, I could choose a name. Obviously I need to connect my wallet, and then MetaMask opens, and that's how I'm able to mint. So if I were to connect here, go through MetaMask, that's essentially how it works. Now, in terms of pricing for this project, if this is a curated NFT, so the curated NFT right now is Bored Ape Yacht Club. They have waived all minting fees. If you're a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder, you just have to pay gas on these. But Sad Girls Bar, since it's not a curated collection, I would need to pay, and then also the gas price to mint this. So it is 0.05 ETH in order to name an NFT. But what's really interesting about this project is it's not just so much of like naming the NFT, it's what you can get through their roadmap moving forward. So they do have a hold farm, staking, and then like sharing profits of these NFTs themselves. And there is a whole lot of information on how all of this works, but they basically have their own token, RNM, which is called Rename. And this is a total cap supply of 1 billion tokens that's going to be distributed over time. And that's based on a bonding curve. And if you guys are not familiar with bonding curves and how they work with tokens, this is a pretty good article. It's from 2019 by this woman, but it just talks about general bonding curves and how it works within the token ecosystem. But there's a great way to make money back on these NFTs because you have the option to also burn these names to get ETH back. And that happens mostly through, this golden ticket. So this is a ticket within their ecosystem, only 1,000 of these that exist. Same thing, you would connect your wallet and then you'd have the ability to either mint or burn. So what this is saying is right here, and this piece right here. So the amount of ETH obtained when a ticket is burned equals 90% of the most recent ticket's mint price. So the first golden ticket had a price of 0.1001 ETH, and then the 1,000, like that last ticket, will have a price of 100.1 ETH. So obviously the price to mint goes up as the supply goes down. And this 1,000, this golden ticket, what it gives you access to are these special names lists. So therefore, like the names that we're going to assume are going to be highest in demand. I hope this loads. I know names, I feel like it was on here somewhere. Vitalik, 0x0, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Danny. I don't know why Danny. I don't know what that would be about, but because they assume that these names are going to be in high demand, you have to have a golden ticket to burn.
I can't believe Lux Cleve isn't on there.
The interface is nice. I really love the colors. I think it's fairly intuitive to use. Their overview, their docs here are really wonderfully done. Everything that you'd want to know about the project is certainly in here. And there's a great introduction, and then they talk you through the basics. So here we can see what they've capped the token at, and it talks you through just the different mechanics of how you can actually create a name. So only letters and numbers, no leading or trailing spaces. Single spaces can be used throughout a name. So just some of the key mechanics there. And then also, if you were to go sell this NFT in the future that you've given a NFTR name to, that name also transfers with the NFT. So it's recorded on the blockchain, it transfers with that NFT. And I believe you can actually go in, and if you've named an NFT before, you can rename it. I don't know what that means for that initial name that you'd created, though. If that is just burned at that point, or if it goes back into the pool, or how that works, I'm not sure.
So is there an existing use case for this that you've seen?
That's a great question. So I hopped into their Discord earlier today, and I ended up chatting with Jiminy here, and I literally go, I am
Jiminy Cricket. Oh, is that the cricket? Is it actually? No,
I think so. Kind of. Yeah.
it looks like it.
Yeah. But I hopped into their Discord earlier today, and I literally put in, I'm so embarrassed to be asking this, but can you expand on the use cases for your project? And I went and I read a little bit more in the overview here and where they're going with this. They're definitely banking on their roadmap and the additional utility that's going to be coming. So pre-launch is done. Naming launch is where we're at right now. They will then do their token launch and then DAO development and then expanding out their ecosystem from there. So I think a lot of the utility for the project is certainly coming within the tokenomics of this project, but also they are most definitely trying to create, and they say it here, a new standard. So they're really banking on the fact that people are going to want to have an NFT that is identifiable in a much easier way. They're talking about potentially using it in like chat platforms that could exist in the future.
Gaming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that this is, once I understood that, this is a great project. I think it's early. I think it's going to take a while to catch on, but I see the use case and the utility behind it. And I think if they do it right, it could be really powerful, especially when I think of the correlation between ENS and how NFTR is this for NFTs.
Absolutely. So if you have a character that you've developed, you would want to name your character and have that name be attached to the NFT and move along in the space wherever it may be, whether it's VR, gaming, whatever. Cool. Yeah.
And the team is all doxed. You can see here. We've got their Twitter account right here, under 4,000 followers. Again, I think that they're fairly new. They joined in 2021. Naming service itself just went live in July. So they are pretty new.
Oh yeah. They've been building.
Yeah.
They have been building.
Yeah. And I understand because it's very complex, I'm assuming, what they're doing on the back end, especially when we're talking about the tokenomics and having to work within a bonding curve. But it is interesting to cruise through their Twitter here and see which sorts of projects people are naming. So there's a Boss Beauties. We do have some Bored Ape and then some other dudes. It's really all over the place. This one is The Dude. So The Dude is no longer available. That was pretty good. There is like that element of FOMO where it's get your name, you want to get that name, and they're fairly affordable. So even if it's not a curated project, I don't know. I just find it really interesting and just another way that this space is just expanding outside of anything that I ever would have thought of or considered before. So.
Question.
Yeah.
Since you're the leading internet YouTube expert on projects, why the token connected to the naming? I don't know the answer. But.
Incentivization all around. So there's a line that I don't want to get wrong. Yes. Okay. So the NFTR revenue is streamed to its token stakers. So it enables users to own the platform. So it's giving the user ownership and a way for them to make money, incentivizing that end user would be how I would answer that.
Okay.
So
you're the leading expert.
But this is not financial advice, so do your own research.
Absolutely, DYOR. This is fun advice.
Yeah. Community will link you out to their Discord. Their Discord has, I think, under 1,000 people in it as well, but they are very receptive. And again, I asked a question of, so what are the use cases? And they were, again, totally receptive. And honestly, the first response was, thank you so much for taking the time to understand our project, which I thought was a really cool way to kick off that conversation and not say, hey, you're an idiot. So thought that was really cool. But I don't know if you've ever thought about needing to name an NFT. Like, I think that I would consider doing it for the NFT that I associate most with myself, like a Grail NFT.
Right.
And then as long as I could reuse that name if I decide to transfer it at some point. But I think it's a really interesting concept. And I do think that it's early just because everything within NFTs is so niche. So this is even more niche on top of niche. But I definitely think that there's a use case here.
Oh, absolutely. So I just want to give a pretty good metaphor for anybody who's trying to wrap their head around what the value of this is. So the more I'm thinking about it, if we think about like the beginnings of Disney, for example, and like Mickey Mouse as a character, the name Mickey Mouse is just as valuable as the image of Mickey Mouse, right? So this is a way to tie those naming conventions to digital art. And NFTs can be used for other things besides digital art, obviously, but that would be like a huge opportunity right now to claim some names and stuff.
Yeah, that's a great point. It really can help you boost the IP of your NFT just by having that name that has a strong brand presence. It's a really good point. Very cool.
Yeah. So this is super early. Thanks for introducing this to not only me, but also to all of our subscribers and those who trickled in just to watch our crazy little corner of the internet show here.
If you guys would please like and subscribe. Let us know what you think about this project. And this isn't just like a normal project overview. So I'm really interested to get any sort of feedback on this. Definitely do your own research. We appreciate every second that you spend watching us online. And I guess we'll just see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.